di te, Molly amiamo creato e, iniziato da New Jersey. Last week today lived, presentato da Filtastic, Comics and Art.
Let's fucking go.
Hello, hello to all my friends out there in YouTube land. Your good buddy Filtastic is here live. I don't know if anybody else is. It's kind of funny. I didn't go live last week, as you may know. We had a party to go to. I think I meant to actually take off until September, and kind of forgot about that whole notion. And then I was trying to get my guests together for today, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. And I was like, oh, I'm busy. I'm gonna be. And it occurred to me very quickly that there is a terrific contest going on today. So I was kind of reminded of that this morning, and I was like, and I don't know if these people are there. Fanboy wasn't on. I know he was under the weather last week. Hopefully he's feeling better. Cliff was just on for just a little bit. So it was like, oh, maybe everybody took the weekend off, which is perfectly fine. But I do see we have some people coming in here. So why don't we say good morning to our buddy Wellbore up north. I hope that you're doing well. If I'm not mistaken, were you on vacation last week or whatnot? We have Robin's Buys and DIYs. Yeah, I was just saying, missed you on Fanboy this morning. I got up early to check it out, and nobody was there. So hopefully everybody's doing well over there. Phil 2, how are you? I have to reach out to Phil 2. I think I have to have Phil 2 on very, very soon. Las Cruces in New Mexico. I have to tell you, I was thinking of Las Cruces the other day. I was flipping through an Apple article, and it was saying that there are states that are bracing for, I don't know if this is an annual thing or if it's something like the cicadas every few years, giant spiders to just kind of start coming out like the size of your foot, basically. And one of the places was New Mexico. Now, I don't think New Mexico is as populated as New Jersey is. We're very densely populated here. So I don't know if it's like in the middle of the desert or something, but Las Cruces, let us know. Do you have giant spiders near you? Do you go through raid like crazy? How does that work? More people are trickling in. Yes, Wellbore was on vacation. As you see that. See, I remembered little bits and pieces. Sometimes everything works. John's Comics with Kids, how are you doing, sir? I was wrapping up some of my X-Men reading this week, and I was thinking of John. Particularly, I was reading Phoenix, and I know that I think John had a screenshot in his IG at one point. Again, I'm always a little bit behind, so I think the next issue is actually coming out this week. Just to give you an idea there. But yeah, a little interesting what they think they're doing with X-Men. I don't really know how much I can get behind, but that's a topic for another day here. So I did want to talk about two quick news articles before I show you who our mystery guest is. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say this. Temper your expectations. Las Cruces was talking about giant spiders. When I worked in the oil field, I saw migrations of hundreds of black tarantulas. Yeah. That would scare me enough. I'm not really afraid of spiders, but just a lot of something. I haven't loved this. Yeah, samesies. I'm holding out hope that Uncanny and Wolverine are solid. But yeah, the more Tom Reboot, whatever his name is, talks, the less thrilled I am. Like, oh, really? You're just disregarding that? Okay. But I guess that's the way things go. I don't know if maybe it's time that I should sit out some of the X-Men runs. I thought about doing that, especially the way Krakoa ended. I thought the very last kind of moments of that especially was like, maybe this is a sign. But I don't know. I'm still like, let me just check a couple things out first. Neil, how are you, sir? We're going to have Neil on, I think, next week. We haven't ironed everything out yet, but Neil is coming soon, and I'm excited for that. Three Good Nerds, how are you? Was thinking about you today. I had an issue. I'm gonna say this. Everybody in the Road to 10K, Road to 1K giveaway. 10K, wow. So, as you can see, my office has been a little discombobulated since I've changed jobs, and it's just I'm not down here every day, basically. So, I have been very slowly over the last couple of years now organizing my collection. Very slowly, meaning not quick enough for my darling wife, whom I love very much, and she's upstairs with my son right now. He has a class this morning. So, long story short, I like you probably do, have things just separated into piles where it's like, I know where this is, and I know where that is. So it's not disorganized, and I'm slowly putting it away. So long story short, I had three separate piles, really. The Road to What K giveaway, which is in a box, which I think I've pretty much reassembled. I'm still going through everything. Pile for Three Good Nerds, and a pile for Trev, whom I'm working on a little something for. The Three Good Nerds have been working on something as well, and I'm just about done. And she's mixed up everything, all the piles. So now I'm like, do you remember seeing this? Can you tell me where you put that? So for the past week or so, I've been slowly just kind of sorting out. It's like, okay, I know that they're getting this, and I know that this is going here. So bear with you for just a little while longer. I promise I'm getting everything together. But Three Good Nerds, I think some stuff that you guys are really going to like. And Trev's not here, but hopefully I can find that blank cover soon so I can finish that up, because I'm really excited for that. Some other people walked in the meantime. Only seen large. Okay. 10K. Yeah, that's scary. Circumstances. Marcus, how you doing today, sir? I was happy earlier in the week. I haven't had a whole lot of YouTube time at all this week, either listening or watching, I should say, or producing. I'm still kind of adjusting to my new schedule, and work is good enough. I get there, come back. I'm usually home by 5:30. It's the things like, hey, can you make a stop on the way home? Can you cook tonight? Like the stuff that happens afterwards. And I've been very, very exhausted. But I have health updates to that. It's not for this show, of course. If you know, you know, we'll say. But Marcus, I actually was bringing that up because, excuse me, a video I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I finally did where I show off some of my artwork from Between the Lines. And, well, here's the thing. The way I do, right now I try to go on Between the Lines every single week. If I can't make it for some reason, I try to get the theme from Roscoe. And he's very good about that. As soon as he knows the theme, he usually lets me in. And it's not just something special for me. He lets a group of people know. Anybody really who asks, I think. And get working on it. So when it's somebody who I know, through YouTube, not one-on-one, and really like and enjoy their stuff, I try to make it a point to go on. Marcus was on several months ago. I think it was before Christmas. I could be wrong. And that particular day I was just wiped out. I was like, bro, I can't get on. I messaged Roscoe, and he's always like, yeah, don't worry about it. But I wanted to do this idea for Marcus for a long time. And I had a whole elaborate kind of bit set up because I had apologized to Marcus, and he didn't need an apology, but he was cool about it. Like, hey, look, I'm going to burn a stack of Turok #1s as like an offering. So that's kind of where my idea jumped off of. And I was going to enlist a friend to make it look like we were burning a box of Turoks. I was going to have a funny bit with my LCS. And it's just when you collaborate, I think when people who are not on YouTube regularly, things tend to fall apart. So for us, it was kind of like trying to get our ducks in a row. And I was just like, all right, screw it, let me do it. But I really like how the picture came out. I hope everybody enjoys it here. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with tarantulas either. Mike Evil is here. Tonight, 9 p.m. my time, Eastern time, on Evil's Comics channel, hosted by Evil Mike. Our quartet is meeting to discuss the, I don't know if it's the last book we're discussing or not. Mike, just jump in because I've lost all bearing of where we are. To discuss the latest book that we read in the Stephen King's Dark Tower series. And I'm excited for this one. It was a shorter book, so I don't know if the discussion's going to be that much shorter, but yeah, definitely tune in again. It's 9 p.m. Eastern. Adjust your clock if you're not in the Eastern time zone. And it's a good time, very insightful. And I'm planning a video shortly because I made a realization about the Dark Tower, and it's kind of given me a different outlook on my outlook of things, mixed of course with some life issues, as they always tend to do. Okay, I think we're almost caught up. Piles of stuff. I get in trouble when I forget. When I make the pile, which is happening. Yeah, see, here's the thing. I said, look, this was right over here. Just tell me where you put that pile, and we'll be good. Oh, that's not it. So I need to do like a complete tear out, and I was trying to explain that, hey, when you do this, I know that you think it's speeding me up, it's actually slowing me down. If I could channel a Blues Traveler song in that, I would. I guess if you know, you know. Yeah, new job is going well. Thank you. Join Discord. I'm on Discord, and I don't understand it. I'll be honest with you. I jumped on Discord because Reggie was on Discord for a while. He was kind of pushing that. I think I've been on it maybe 4 times. I still have the app. I just don't get it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just at that age where certain pieces of technology just kind of pass you by. Maybe I'm just kind of at my limit with what I'm learning to learn as far as social media. Like, I download Threads too, and I don't understand it. I'm like, okay, so this is kind of like YouTube stories or shorts, but on Instagram, but you have, I don't, just do we need more? Probably not. Thanks for your help with those antibiotics. Okay. That sounds like a private discussion. Roscoe, we were just talking about you, sir. Yep, Mondays, 8:35. 8:35. If you go on 8:30, it's too late. If you go on 8:40, oh, excuse me. If you go on at 8:30, it's too early. If you go on at 8:40, it's too late. So make sure you're there at 8:35 on Geeking Out with Roscoe, Geek Out with Roscoe, excuse me, channel for Between the Lines. My favorite art channel, art show rather, on YouTube. I can't talk. I'm a little bit behind on sleep, just from everything going on during the week, and also my daughter just decided she wanted to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and not sleep until 4. I saw Blues Traveler in 98, I'm going to say, in New Brunswick. But that's a whole other story. New Jersey, not Canada, I think. Yeah, see, I don't really have a PC right now. I have my work computer, and I'm not using that for things other than work. I've had that argument with myself, hey, I should really get a computer or a laptop just to make streaming so much easier, for one. But I can't justify the expense, at least not right now. All right, so I've caught up with the chat. I'm going to introduce you to the mystery guest. And as I said earlier, temper your expectations. Okay, you guys ready? Okay. See, I'm the guest. I know. As I was saying at the top of the show, if you haven't heard, I had trouble booking somebody for this week, and I don't know if it was Terrificon or just it's summer and whatnot. I'm what you got. I actually was just holding this space because I had reached out to like 4 people, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll just put it here because I want to put the channel art out. I hate the fact that I usually do it on Fridays, only because I feel like it's like very last minute feeling, and sometimes it's not, but many times it is. But there we go. So it was a placeholder. So you got me. I'm going to talk about a couple news articles in a bit. Yeah, the one I saw was not free. It was at the State Theater in New Brunswick. And Sugar Spells just walked in. Hey, Spells, I did see your comment, by the way. I can't highlight you for some reason. Sorry. There we go. I did see your comment on the art video. I have not answered all my comments yet, but we'll get to that soon. Roscoe, too kind, sir. I appreciate that. So there were a couple news articles that popped up I really wanted to discuss this week. This is strange. I think I read this article on Wednesday, and I actually posted it to. I'm a member of DJ Lynx's channel. I actually posted it to that chat, even though right now all of my chats are muted. I should say this again too. Remind you guys, I should say. I haven't seen Deadpool Wolverine yet. Waiting for streaming. I've been very diligent about avoiding spoilers. Please don't be that person who spoils it in my own chat. You know, it's something that's tough to do. I've muted pretty much all groups that I'm in that like to discuss movies. And I said, hey guys, I'm going dark until I see this film. I'm just trying to be surprised. A couple spoilers did make their way into it, but you know, for the most part, I'm okay. And no, I'm not going to spoil the spoilers. So what was I saying? Yeah. So one of the articles, which again I read on like Tuesday, Wednesday, I went to go read it again this morning, and now it's behind a paywall. Go figure. There is actually, I could at least read the headline, yes. And again, in case you've never been on before, I don't have a laptop or a PC that I stream from. So this is what we do. I show you basically my iPad screen. This is from the Philadelphia Inquirer. I can't even go to the page, right? I got a big subscription thing, so I'll show you the Google search. A Paoli, I don't know where Paoli is, couple won $10 million in a lawsuit against an international comic book grading giant. Now, the irony with this is, I searched couple sues CGC, and I looked for news articles, and this is on Google 2 days ago. You can't find this story, at least that I've seen, on a comic book related site. I didn't see it on Inverse. I didn't see it on the guy Rich that always comments on content. Yeah, so it's kind of strange. I don't think it's CGC being like, hey guys, don't talk about this. I wouldn't think that they suppress stories. I mean, they are part of BlackRock. Maybe the parent company does something. But yeah, so apparently, since Matt and Emily Myers had become so good at restoring old comic books that they were accused by the world's largest and most influential, and then it trails off, so I'm going to fill in what I believe it says there, grading company, of basically fraudulent practices, to the point where, if I remember from reading the article the other day, they had almost like put out a warning about this couple saying, hey, look, these aren't good practitioners. I don't know if they were accused of taking, the type of restoration practices that gets you the purple label, or it was just they were outright accused of theft. But needless to say, the couple's business, which they were very successful at, dropped off significantly after that. And it sounds like they've successfully sued CGC for $10 million. So I don't look. I haven't used third-party pressers. I've been close to using a couple. I know that Rob Fatstacks and Gary have that Rogue Trader that they talk about ever so often. And I've been thinking about that because I know that when you make it, when you do business with them, they make a donation to C3. And I know from other people in the community, I know Matt Woods turned me on to magic pressing, which I have not used yet either. And I do have stuff I do want to get pressed. Really, the only pressing I've done is with CGC, just because it tends to be like, I want to just send this and get rid of it. Or get it done, rather. I shouldn't say get rid of it. But it's articles similar to this that make me a little iffy about it. Another big thing that happened this week, right before I went live, I watched this on Jen Mint's channel. And I'm going to say this, by the way. I have not watched a whole lot of Jen Mint over the past, I'm going to say, 1.5 to 2 years. And I've got nothing against him. It's just I'm not into omnibuses. I'm not into statues, so I kind of skipped it. When everything was going on with his house last week, I tuned in. I feel bad for him. It sounds like he's at least knows what he has to do. I felt even worse when other people from the community were going after him. I don't like that type of content. I don't think it's something that should be celebrated. And I felt bad that, I wouldn't say he went on the defensive, but I think he's handled it as well as you could. So anyway, that's popped up in my feed. You know what it is? To me, it's like, okay, I don't have that much room as it is. I can't imagine just a room of omnis. And I know it's somewhat of a business. People will buy them and resell them because they go out of print and whatnot. It's just not something I'm willing to do. If I'm not reading it floppy and it's from one of the big two companies, I'll read it digitally. That's just my mindset. That being said, I do think in some instances you lose something reading digitally, but if it's a book that you just want the story for, there you go. You don't have to collect everything to enjoy it. There was a presser, whose name escapes me at the moment, that Gem Mint had on a couple times, not recently, that he found through the CGC forums, who was arrested for basically he was taking people's books, and we're talking high-end, blue-chip books, and instead of pressing them, he was turning around and selling them. He had like multiple eBay stores, other venues that he went with. I think he was actually working with somebody that runs out of I don't know if they were in on it or not, so don't quote me on that, but somebody who was running like a resale business. And after about 5 years, one guy, after 5 years of waiting for his books to come back, finally contacted the police. I don't know that I would have waited 5 years. I mean, it sounds like he was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, sending emails and whatnot, and it kind of got to an unfortunate point where, yes, you had to involve the cops. But this man was actually arrested, and I think they estimated that he had sold or they written up his racketeering over $60,000 worth of comics. $60,000. So a lot of people involved. I don't know that everybody involved can be made whole. I hope so. So I'm kind of curious with you guys. Have you used any third-party pressers? Do stories like this make you feel a certain way about them? I know that now I'm kind of pausing, like, maybe I don't need a third-party presser. There's some great people out there, and I think it's unfortunate. It's the type of thing that somebody is great and the best until they're not. And that's just kind of how it is. I should say they're reputable until they're not. Let me catch up with the chat here a little bit. I appreciate that, Phil. I would buy Omnis if they were spiral. Yeah. Love the hate that flows through people. Yeah, and unfortunately, this is like heat season between various news stories and the elections and whatnot. It's just, I don't want to talk to anybody. I really don't. It was funny. I've classically been more conservative in the past, and I've kind of taken the stance now where, without going too political, I feel like we've never had more terrible choices than now. And it's just like, I don't like anybody at all who's running. I'm also of the notion, maybe I'm a little cynical on this, that I sincerely doubt anybody who's elected will actually help you at our level. Local and state, yes. I can't picture something that far up. I haven't seen it, at least in my lifetime. I don't know. Again, maybe I'm a little cynical about it. And we were at this party last week, and my friends are a little bit more liberal. Here in New Jersey, the teachers union has a very big stranglehold on the political scene. And they like, so what do you think? I was like, honestly, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about the news. Because you do watch the news, and my wife loves World News Tonight. How many times do I hear like a slanted story, or I notice a pattern like they just talked about that guy, and then they talked about two negative stories, and they talked about a good story, then the next guy, and they've done that for the same 4 weeks. Just my observations. Let's see. Yeah, I can imagine that too. I don't understand CGC's beef. Yeah, it sounds like that they overstepped. I don't know how long ago their issues went back with the couple. Um, I don't know if it was under old management or what the story is, or if it's a press person that's just no longer with them. But I don't think it's a good move for any company to start saying, "Hey, we think these people are screwing around." There's a certain kind of extent I think you can get with consumer protection, and it sounded like, again, from briefly what I read, it's a bit of an overreach. Again, I don't know all the facts. Just in the article, which I now can't even read, switched to pretty much all digital, and I'm hearing that for from more and more people who've been in the hobby for a while, and I'm kind of in the space where I'm like, I need to sell some things for room. What's important to me? What do I want to read? What do I want to read digitally? And that's how it is. Yeah, it was like CGC's like, yeah, they're so good that they must be cheating. Again, it's a very small snippet from a larger article, which I'm not willing to pay to read. Never used a presser. I've only used the CGC's pressing, which, from what I understand, is not as high quality. Yeah, I guess maybe I'll try somebody. Maybe I might try a presser, and if I do, it's not going to be like, here's my gem of my collection that I want to get a little bit higher. Now, I will say I had that first appearance of X23 and NYX, and I thought CGC had graded it a little harshly, and I've had the urge to crack and press that one. I also have a can't think of it. Tales to Astonish, the first appearance of Ant-Man, that actually kind of funny story. One of my step uncles had as a kid, and it was in my dad's garage. It's a little yellowish. Overall, it's in good shape though, and I was hoping to see if there was any kind of restoration they could do with that, just to kind of save it a little bit. Spiral band would work. Yeah. Hey, Kenneth. I hope that you're doing well. You notice, in my experience, when they, I feel like a lot of times when these companies get locked into something that they're used to doing, maybe it's cheaper. Maybe they're just like, well, people won't collect it if it's something different. I don't know. It sounds like it seems to be a no-brainer, but here we go. Not being good enough to recognize the restoration. Yeah, and I think that could be part of the issue as well. I've often said, CGC has a whole hardcover book. I won a copy a couple years ago. I've never opened it, about their process and how they go about grading books. For another like $20 or something, I wouldn't mind if, when my book is getting graded, there's a video of the whole grading process and the person explaining, okay, look, I found 1, 2, 3, 4 spine ticks, or this is why I'm grading it like this. Not only just for a form of quality control, but just for an informational type of thing. I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think CGC is doing anything differently grading-wise than a CBCS or a PGX. Well, with the CBCS, the major difference is one answers their phone, the other doesn't. But that's a whole other topic. I would pay an extra like $10-20 just to see that, just for my own thing. And I feel like that would dispel a lot of these, they're terrible grader type of things. But what do I know? Pat, how are you? Pat is someone I interned for years ago. Thank you for checking this out. I've never seen our government incorporate any change for good. Bad guess. Yeah. Samesies. Give me back your... Oh, there you go. Air fill air. Okay. I don't remember that. Oh, probably coughing. But I'm going, but good to hear from you all. Have a great week. Oh, take care, man. I don't know why I can't read today. Maybe, again, waking up at 4 o'clock. Waking between 2 and 4 for my little girl, but it's worth it. Reading miss the current releases. Read all of the Ultimate 2023 now. Going back to the beginning and started Ultimate X-Men issue 1. I have Ultimate X-Men in print because Peach Momoko is that much better, in my opinion, in print. And I feel like her artwork is a lot more vibrant, and I have not opened them yet. It's just I haven't gotten around to it. My COVID check was my last paycheck. Switching gears for a second, one thing I do want to bring up, and I meant to bring this up at the top of the show and forgot. A few months ago, you may recall, probably about 2 months ago at this point, I had Sean from Cooking the Stupid on. Great guest. I highly recommend that you check out that episode if you haven't. Sean tells a great story about how a comic book literally saved his life. I've been thinking about trying to put that into a short, but just haven't gotten around to it. So his in-laws, he was recently married. His in-laws, motorcycle enthusiasts, were in a very bad motorcycle accident this past week. And, it sounds like there's a broken, they're elderly. It sounds like somebody's got a broken leg. They're alive. That's the main point. I would imagine the bike is totaled. They have a GoFundMe. I don't do this often, but I'm going to share the GoFundMe on the community tab. Look, if you're so inclined, go ahead and help them out. If not, no worries. That's always my approach to GoFundMes. At least I think that's how you have to be. Sorry, I wanted to take that little break just to mention that before it just slipped my mind completely. I'm mad that Lunar said distillery books were canceled when they really weren't. Now I missed pre-orders. Yeah. It happens. That whole Lunar mess, I'm kind of glad is dissipating a bit. Trying to think. So what else could we discuss this week? Oh, and I meant to say, so CGC, again, losing $10 million in a lawsuit. 2 weeks ago, and again, this is another story I had not heard about. And, oh, no, never mind. I read this differently. That's just very good. Never mind. Oh, hold on, did they run into this? I'm reading another article now, and unfortunately it's behind another paywall. CGC ran into a similar issue 3 weeks ago where maybe it might be the same couple. Sorry. I was going to say they had another $10 million. I could kind of read around this one. Hold on. $10 million to a couple who claimed a comic book grading company defamed them. The company allegedly falsely accused the couple of passing off recreations as restorations of original work. Okay, I can't read more. It is the same couple. Never mind. I thought they had won a suit for $10 million, and then they lost one, so kind of evened it out, but that's not it. And I'll say this too. This is not a follow up with the couple who was working with CGC right after Reholder Gate. Different couple. I think that case might still be pending, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I've never heard of recreation either. Go figure. But I mean, at the end of the day, look. Anytime you're buying a book and my personal opinion, if you're spending more than $10 on it, buyer beware. There are bad actors out there. I'll tell you right now, I like Frank Cho's work a lot. I think he's a great artist, and I think it's hilarious. If you're familiar with his outrage drawings on, check him out on IG if you're not. Just hilarious, and he kind of does a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff about how he tends to draw women. Like Black Cat is usually the target for these outrage covers. There are people out there who have actually taken his covers from Instagram. They'll take a screenshot and they'll basically just print it out and almost make it like it's a new trade dress. So they're basically taking a picture of a sketch cover Frank Cho did as a one-off, and mass producing like 10, 15, 20 copies of them and selling them on eBay. And you have to really read it, and it'll say, oh, hey, this is just a copy, this isn't a sketch. But I get it. Look, there's bad actors out there, and as buyers, it's on us to say, hey, I feel good about this, I don't feel good about it. And, you know, in many cases, be willing to lose the money if you don't get satisfaction. I'll be honest with you, I've been hitting up Shortbox a lot lately. And Shortbox, you know, you're relatively protected on. The only time I've ever heard of anybody running into an issue was, I know Rob Fatstacks had an unboxing, and we found it seemed like there was a little bit of a switcheroo, and he said Shortbox took care of him, no problem. eBay, you know, I'm a little bit more leery of. And I usually been looking at eBay for raw books. I don't like Shortbox's raw books. It's just I feel like the shipping cost is a little too inflated for a raw book. And I've been looking at a copy of Max #1, a couple copies, the glow-in-the-dark cover. And I've talked myself out of actually pulling the trigger maybe 3 or 4 times at this point. Either one, it was just seemed more expensive than it should be, or I was like, do I really need the Max #1? It was a great, you know, it was a nostalgia read at most. This is going to be more of, hey, they have the glow-in-the-dark cover. And then there were a couple occasions I was just like, something doesn't feel right about this listing. I don't know what it is. And if you have that gut feeling, I think it's on you to act on that. Let me know, have you run into that kind of situation before where something either seems too good to be true or you just didn't feel right, didn't sit right? What did you do about it? I'm going to pause so you guys can answer and I can save my voice. Let's see. Yeah, Phil's response. Yes, never heard of a recreation. And then, I don't know. I was going to start talking about homage covers, so let's not go down that rabbit hole today. So let me tell you about a couple things coming up. As I said, tonight I will be on Evil's Comics talking about the Dark Tower with the Cotsette, Steve the Voice White, Trev the Shipping Guru, Mike of course, Nor and Rad from Rad Art. Hey Trev, just mentioned you. See? Beetlejuice. You know, I don't know if Naman is back yet. I know I reached out to him. He had some health issues. I hadn't heard back yet. I think he has been popping up here and there. I could be wrong on that. But either way, I hope he's doing much better. So that'll be a treat, even if you've never read the series. Because, maybe we'll save you a couple hours of reading a book. Monday I'll be tuning in, or at least that's the plan to tune into Between the Lines. I don't know what the theme is yet. What else do we have going on? I have a couple videos that I need to record. I need to find those books I was telling you about at the beginning. And yeah, as of right now, we'll be back here next week, but I'm not going to be on Labor Day weekend. Oops. My head is full. Yeah, I'm not going to have a show in week after next. It's Labor Day weekend. I just feel like that's a weekend I should be off of YouTube. I don't know. It's just my take on it. Roscoe. Hey, Roscoe, do you know what the theme is yet? If so, do you want to put it here? If not, don't worry about that. Just let me know, because the earlier you say it, the earlier I can at least start thinking about it. I have been doing some reading. I have a comic book review show to tape, to tape what? And it seems like people are generally enjoying that. I've been kind of doing a whole new approach. I try not to look at how many views the video's gotten, how many thumbs up the video's gotten. I haven't even been looking at the feedback, which I know is a no-no with YouTube. But for my own kind of like mental health, it's, it's kind of been working out pretty well for me. And I'll do just one day where, like 2 months in, I'll be all right, let me catch up with everything and then start commenting. Draw a celebrity who's passed away from cancer. Papa really wants it to go towards C3. Okay, bit of a different subject matter. I don't know that I could put a twist on that, nor would I necessarily want to. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to help out C3, you know, and you want to check out between the lines, here you go. I reply to comments, but I don't look at analytics. You're much better than me. I have to. Maybe that's an approach I should look into. You know, but like I said, I had 0 time for YouTube this week, so didn't get to do that myself. I was trying to find a balance. Chris Bigger, how are you, sir? I miss seeing this guy in Reggie's chats. I miss Reggie's channel. I'm not going to be honest with you. Reggie's streams, and I think many people do. But what can you do? He's doing what he's doing, and that's all you got. There was something I wanted to comment on that too. C3. I should say I have been donating a few books to C3. I know Rob had highlighted some of the slabs I sent over to him. There are some stuff that's older, some stuff I was like, I really like this, I want to keep this, but it's going to a better source. I know, I think it was an issue of Spider-Man, more recent issue, with a yellow label signed by, I think, Chris Bocello, and I want to say Stuart Eilman at the same time. Could be wrong on Stuart. But here we go. Thank you. I appreciate that, Roscoe. I may have something in the works, and I have to speak kind of in circular language right now because it's not official yet, at least that I'm aware of. But I may have something in the works that would be the biggest art project I've worked on, for me personally. But if all goes well, like I would want it to, it's also going to help C3. So be on the lookout for news on that. Hopefully I could talk more about it soon. If not, you'll know by the fall. Why don't we say that? I don't know when the news will be official and when I can talk about it, but that's all I'm going to say for now. I like it so much I hit the button twice. There you go, twice is nice. That would be a good name for a channel, twice is nice. It's ambiguous enough where people get sucked in and leaves things open. I appreciate that, Mr. Bigger, I really do. What else? I know that Joe from Anachronic has a couple shows coming up, live shows. I don't think I'm supposed to be on any of them. Only because some of the topics I just don't know what to put in. That's you. But I know like next Friday he's got one for the comic book crowd. I think it's like food covers. Yeah, and I couldn't really think of anything past like Thanksgiving covers and whatnot. What do I want to show off here? There's something here I wanted to bring up. I don't remember what. Like I said, it's been a very long morning. And gonna have a very long afternoon too. You might have noticed in some of the videos or streams I've been on, you might see little white pieces of furniture here. Like this one. I've been trying to put together my daughter's crib for about 2 weeks now. When I opened it the first time, food covers would be hard to do. Yeah, they are. When I did it the first time, it had a really bad smell. So I just kind of let it air out, and then I just haven't had the time to put it together. So today's finally the day. The kids are going to be in the same room. We're a little nervous about it, but we're going to make it work. Once my son gets up from his afternoon nap, this is going to be my job. So I think I'll be tuning into, Only Slabs. I almost said something else. Later this afternoon. I should say, because DVH Dr. Von Hoot from the Spiral Dimension Another fabulous in-betweener who you can see on Between the Lines every now and then. His wife makes some great artwork. I don't think I've seen her stuff come up recently, but something I always look forward to. He's going to be the guest, so I always try to check it out when it's somebody I know. Just like anything else, I think everybody's kind of the same mindset on that. Other than that, really, that's all I have for you this week. Again, I've got a lot of stuff to record. Hopefully some stuff to draw. He does have a great school of dance. I remember last year when he showed his little dancing video for C3. I know that Brian had said, hey, here's DVH's dance moves. And I replied back, I think there's a technical issue because you said DVH, but judging by these moves, it's truly just Michael Jackson back in the day. And yeah. And if you haven't seen that video, I mean, look, you can probably find that on Brian's channel. Probably just go back to the Comic Book Community Awards stuff from last year. You can probably find it. But yeah, no, DVH is good people. He's somebody I feel bad because, and a lot of people in this chat too, I want to check out your stuff. I have no time. Phil has a great show on organizing the collection. I haven't been able to check in because Sundays is kind of usually my not going on YouTube days because we're at my in-laws, we're at my parents and whatnot. I don't want to be that son-in-law that's at the dinner table like that. It just doesn't work for me, and I would feel bad about that. So I try to insulate a little bit of time where it's like, no, this is a no phone day. I will say this though, before everybody is up on Sunday morning, I have been checking out Breakfast with Brian most weeks. Last week was crazy, but other than last week, you know, there we go. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. I'm just rambling now. Again, I will put up Psychedelic. How are you? Paul, I'm just leaving now. But I appreciate you stopping in, Paul. I actually was thinking about you earlier today because I've been putting together a video about, I don't want to get away, but about the art project that I had sent you something on. You were part of the group I sent some stuff out for almost 2 years ago at this point. But anyway, thank you guys for checking this out. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Be sure to check out the channels I mentioned, everybody else, and I will also be putting out that GoFundMe information just after we check out here. So like I said, if you got a couple bucks to spare, you don't have to go crazy. It's to help our buddy Sean that was here. Great guy, you know, hopefully his in-laws recover well. Well, that being said, peace, love, and comics. Take care.